Check this out. What was I doing when I did that, other than playing 4 major 7 chords? There's something in common on all 4 of those chords. Can you tell what it is? Let me play them one more time for you. It was the note C. C was the root of C major 7. Then C was the third of A flat major 7. C was the fifth of F major 7. And then C is the seventh of D flat major 7. This is a sort of a systematic way of learning the sound of the location of notes within the chord. And this is something I kind of stumbled onto. I was helping one of my Skype students who lives in Austria, and this man had put in a lot of practice time, and he was very good at going up the chords 1, 3, 5, 7, or going down the chords 7, 5, 3, 1. He was not as comfortable if you had to access a chord in the middle, like from the third or from the fifth. So during the lesson, I suggested he try this, and I saw him 2 weeks later, and he said this made all the difference in the world. All of a sudden, he felt confident when he could start on any of the 4 notes, and he wasn't hesitant anymore. He felt like he knew where he was located if he started, and he hit the C, and that note was supposed to be the fifth. And it helped his improvisations because he was comfortable not starting on the root or starting on the seventh all the time, that he can start on some of these other note choices, and he really was hearing it. And really hearing it, that's the key to everything, is really hearing how it goes. So let's go slowly through this process. You start out with the first one. It's pretty simple. C is the root, and you're going to go up a C major 7 chord. C, E, G, B. You're hearing C as the root. Okay, next one. C is the third. To hear C as the third, chords A flat major 7. You got to hear a major third below C. Da 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 da. So I'm hearing major third. Okay? Now the next one, you got to hear C as a fifth of something. C is the fifth of F major 7. C, F, perfect fifth. And then the last one's the hardest one. C is the seventh. That means you got to hear a major 7th below C. Major 7th, C, D flat. Okay, but when you start hearing like this, all these harmonic doors are going to open for you because you're going to be aware of your location. So it's good to start on the note and then drop to the pitch, drop to the root, drop to the, wherever you're located. If you're on the third, drop to the root. If you're on the fifth, again, you drop to the root. That's going to let you hear the actual interval of the fifth, right? Let's do it again. And let's do it, we'll change the chord. Let's make it on a dominant chord. And let's start on an F7 just for a change, just to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to play F7 going up. F is the root, okay, right? F, A, C, E flat. Now, F is the third. It's a dominant chord. It's going to be a D flat dominant 7. Da 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 da. So notice I was able to sing what it was going to sound like in advance. That's going to take you some time, but it is well worth your time to work on that so that you're really hearing it and you're not just doing it out of intellect. Okay? It's good to know the spellings. It's great to know the letter names. But that doesn't replace hearing it with your ear, because your ear is going to be much faster when it comes to improvising than trying to think intellectually about all the chord spellings and things involved. So let's keep going. So we just heard F as the third on a dominant chord. Okay, that was the third. Now F is the fifth. Da da, perfect fifth. It's going to be a B flat dominant chord. So we got F, B flat, D, F, A flat. And now finally, the F is going to be the seventh on a dominant chord. So that chord is G7. Da da. I can't sing that low. Da 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 da. adjust your voice, your vocal range will be different for everyone. Just adjust it. If you need to go up an octave like I just did, no problem. Da-da. Okay? So there I was hearing the F as a seventh, and it's a minor seventh above the root, even though the chord is a dominant chord. Da-da, minor seventh, interval, okay? Here they are again. F is the root. F is the third. F is the fifth. F is the seventh. Be able to do this on those big 5 chord types. Okay? Major, dominant, minor, half diminished, full diminished. 12 keys. Take your time with it, but be very thorough with it as well. Make sure you're really hearing it. You can't rush the ear. So I tell this to people all the time. A lot of times students want me to give them this information all at once or really quickly, more quickly than they can handle it. Intellectually, you can understand this in a few minutes, but to get your ear to hear in this way and be able to sing the intervals, that's a lot of training. That's a long-term investment, long-term commitment to learning it like this, but the payoff is huge because you will never forget. The ear doesn't forget. Once it hears the sounds and it has enough time to properly process the harmonic information, that will stay with you. Okay? So it's a worthwhile pursuit to do it like this. And it's best to do it by ear or by memory without reading them. You can read them if you really need to write them out just for reference, because a lot of people are visual. You need to see it, that's okay, but I would just strongly suggest get off that page as soon as possible, because if you're looking at a page, usually you're not really hearing them as deeply as if you were just doing it by the sound of it, okay? So just remember that, because that page won't be there to look at when you're up on the bandstand improvising or whatever. So get it by the sound of it. And that's just a new way to do it. If you've been practicing your chords and you're proficient with 1, 3, 5, 7 and 7, 5, 3, 1, you're ready to step it up a notch, try this approach with all of your chords and you're going to notice you're hearing at a much deeper level. You're hearing all the intervals and you're able to take one letter name and give it 4 different contexts, which is really a cool thing. Okay? When you get good at going to the 7th, then you can experiment going to the 9th, going to the 11th, the 13th. But right now, 1, 3, 5, 7, C is. Then F is. Then B flat is. B flat is 1 of, let's say, B flat major 7. B flat is 3 in G flat major 7. B flat is 5 in E flat major 7. And then B flat is 7 in C flat major 7. You might want to think of that one as B major 7. Call it an A sharp. Right? See, it gets a little tricky. So take your time with it. That's what I'm saying. Take your time. Don't try to rush it. Take your time. Think about it. Play it. Hear it. And it's going to do well for you. Have fun with that one.